What's happening YouTube? My name is Alex and welcome to a new review. For today I have another Android media center called the Minix U9-H, and I've seen a lot of you requesting a review for this unit. Now pricing, this is not the cheapest thing out there, so if you buy it just by itself it's gonna cost around $140. If you actually buy it with an air mouse it's gonna cost you around $160, but it really depends where you're gonna buy it from. If you wanna check it out I will leave some links in the video's description. For specs, we have the Amlogic S912 CPU. This is an octa-core CPU. We also have 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage, dual band Wi-Fi, and this is running Android 6.0.1. Let's start with a very quick unboxing. So the U9H comes in a good looking box. On the front we basically see the brand name and the model name, and turning the box around we're gonna find the specifications for this device. Inside the box you're gonna find the device itself. You're also gonna find a small remote control. This is not the greatest remote control, and depending if you got the package with the air mouse you're gonna find the A3 air mouse. There is also a small user manual that's in English, German and Chinese, and you should definitely check out this user manual because it's got a lot of information. There is also a power adapter, and this is the same power adapter that we've seen in the past. You're also gonna find an HDMI cable and 2 other USB cables. As I mentioned before, you can get this TV box with a Minix A3 air mouse, and I do recommend that you actually get this because it makes the experience with the TV box much better, so it's much easier to actually control the TV box with this. This remote control is quite large, but that means that we also get bigger buttons, and that makes typing much better on the keyboard on the back. There is also a microphone inside it, and that makes it much easier to actually control your TV box, dictate something, or access Google Now. And lastly, I love the fact that we can actually turn on and off the TV box right from this power button here on top. That's not something that we see with other remote controls like this. So definitely invest the extra 20 bucks and get this TV box with a remote control because it's gonna make your life much easier. Now the TV box itself, so I have to be honest, for the price I was actually expecting that this would be made out of metal, but no, it's actually made out of plastic entirely. So the back, the front, the sides, everything is basically made out of plastic. On the front, on the top, we are gonna see the Minix brand, and on the back we are gonna see the model name. On the right hand side you're gonna find the power button. We also have 3 USB ports, we have a slot for an SD card, a micro USB port, and lastly a locking port. Since the U9H is running Android 6.0.1, you can easily install an SD card as internal storage, and considering that out of that 16 gigs of internal storage you only have about 11 left, that may be useful. Now the speeds for the internal storage are pretty good, but not the best that I've seen. Moving to the back of the device, so there we have the port for the power adapter, we also have the network adapter port, the optical audio, HDMI out, and then we have something that I haven't actually seen before. So we have a port for a microphone, so if you plan on recording something or using Skype or anything like that, that could be useful. And lastly a 3.5mm audio jack as well. And of course I've tried DTS sound and Dolby Digital sound while using Kodi. This device comes pre-installed with Kodi 17 and I haven't had any issues, so I'm very happy to see that we get another TV box that works great with DTS and Dolby Digital. And lastly, on the left hand side of the device we have the external Wi-Fi antenna, and of course I've checked the speeds over Wi-Fi and over a wired connection, and the speeds that I got are among the best that I've seen for any TV box, so even on the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi band the speeds are really good. Since Miracast is also related to the Wi-Fi connectivity, of course I've mirrored my phone screen to this device and I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Performance-wise, even though this device doesn't get the highest scores on the Antutu Benchmak, the Geekbench 4 and the Icestorm Extreme, it does perform much better than a lot of other devices that I've seen with the Amlogic S912. Unfortunately, the U9H doesn't come with root access from the factory, and I know that some of you may be disappointed. And next, looking at the digital rights management information, so this TV box would basically be able to play Netflix in HD, but unfortunately this device is not certified by Netflix, so the maximum resolution on Netflix is gonna be 480p. And since we are talking about online streaming apps, of course I've tried the YouTube app that comes pre-installed with this device, and the maximum resolution, at least for my TV, was 1080p, but the videos did seem to go very smooth without any issues. I've also tried Showbox, and that one also works great without any problems. And of course I've tried a couple of streams from Kodi, and this is Kodi 17 that we get pre-installed on this device, and that one also works great without any issues. Now that you've seen how this looks and you have a better idea about its performance, I'm gonna start recording the screen. I wanna show you the launchers that are available. With this, we're gonna play a couple of video files so you can see what video files do good and which ones don't actually work on it. We're gonna play some games and basically show you how this would perform for day-to-day tasks. First of all, let's start with the launcher. So we get this one that looks very close to stock Android, and some of you may actually like this more than the other one. And then we also get this one, so we can choose a different one from the settings here. So this is the second one. Let me just select it, and now we should be able to see the second one. I personally don't like this one this much, but it really depends from person to person. The navigation bar at the bottom of the screen you can also hide and bring back up whenever you need it. And of course we have the notification tab on top right here. For apps, we don't get that many apps that come pre-installed. We do get the Play Store. We have 2 YouTube apps. One of them is the official one of them it's their own version of the YouTube app. We have Miracast right there. What else? We have the Google Now right here. It comes pre-installed with Skype, the MX Player, the ES File Explorer, and a few other ones around here. Netflix and Showbox I actually installed myself. We also get updates with this TV box, and as soon as I actually turned it on this morning, I got an update right away. So it's a very good thing to see that we actually get updates, and this is going to be supported in the future. The settings app looks very similar to what we've seen in the past. Here at network you can basically connect over the Wi-Fi or through a cable. It really depends on your setup at home. The display can change the screen resolution, and this will be different depending on the TV that you have connected to the TV box. And for the duration of this video I had the HDR mode off, and that is because 4K videos, mostly HDR 4K videos, turn out a bit too dark if that's on, so it was off for the duration of this video. But audio, you can basically change the audio output, and it really depends on your setup at home. So as I said before, DTS sound and Dolby Digital sound does work very good. At about here you can basically see the model name and the latest security patch that's coming from August 1st, 2016. For languages, like most of these Android TV boxes, we do get a lot of languages available, and I'm just gonna scroll through them and hopefully you can see the one that you may be interested in, but definitely a lot of languages available. So these are all the languages that are supported. We do have HDMI CEC, and it does seem to work properly, so whenever you turn off the TV box will turn off, and whenever you turn on the TV box will actually turn on. And we also have the advanced settings right here, and this is basically everything that you may want to tweak around. But basically the same thing as the previous settings app that I've showed you. I have the MX Player open at this time, and I have my USB stick plugged into the TV box. The first file that we're gonna try, it's a 4K file at 60 frames per second. And I know that this one works very good. And as you can probably tell, it does look quite good as well. So we'll stop this one, we'll move to the next 4K file, and this one also works without any issues. But again, I've tried all these files before, so as you can probably tell, it works pretty good. We'll move to the next one, and this is a 720p file, and of course, as you'd expect, this one also does good. We'll give it a second till it starts. And it does work good. Moving to the next one, I'm just gonna resume like all the other ones, and of course this one also works. And we'll move back. I'm gonna skip this one for now, but we'll get back to that one in a bit. This is the second, another 4K file at 24 frames per second, I believe, and this one also works good. And I believe that this one was filmed with my phone some time ago, so we'll stop this one as well, and we'll move to the next one. This one actually works without any issues as long as you're actually using the MX Player. If you'd be to use Kodi, this actually doesn't work, but like this you can watch it without any issues. So this one also works. We'll move back, and let's try this one right here. And of course I've tried this one as well, and it also works fairly good. So no issues for any file, of course after they start up, because it takes them a while to actually start up, mostly if you're using the MX Player. And for the last file, I'm actually gonna use Kodi. For some reason it doesn't work good with the MX Player, and this is the one that I couldn't watch. But for watching this, you can just use Kodi and it does seem to work fine for Kodi. I'm not sure why it doesn't actually work on the MXIII. So basically all the files that we tried on the U9H work without any issues. For multitasking, even though we only have 2 gigs of RAM, I haven't had any issues with any apps running in the background closing. So all the apps that you're trying to keep in the background, the TV box will actually keep them in the background and it will not kill them. For gaming, I played GTA San Andreas at the maximum settings, as you can probably see here. And basically I'm gonna let you just watch me play for a couple of minutes, but it does seem to work without any issues. So I'm just gonna press start and I'll let you watch for a couple of minutes. And next I'm gonna be playing Real Racing 3 for another minute or so, just so you have a better idea how this device performs for gaming. And it's time to conclude this video, so I really don't have anything bad to say about this device. Like, everything that I've tried does work extremely good. The Play Store works good, multitasking works good. You can actually use this over Wi-Fi because it does work extremely good over Wi-Fi. I'm happy to see that they actually have updates for it, and that means that it's supported by the manufacturer. Gaming, even though it's not the absolute best that I've seen, it does perform quite good. So overall, this is a great TV box. The only unfortunate part about it is the fact that it is expensive, so it's not a cheap TV box. For $150 you can basically get 2 other TV boxes, so it really depends how much you want to spend on something like this. But overall, this is a great TV box and it does seem to work extremely good. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.